Welcome into True Daily Diamond for Saturday, December 21st, 2024. I am Drew Martin breaking down the slate of games. We got 3 college football playoff games coming your way the whole day, 12 noon Eastern. We got the mid-afternoon game and the night game. So picks on all of these college football playoff games. Let me know in the comments below where you agree, where you disagree. All is welcome, guys. It helps out grow the show. Smash that like button if you're liking the content. As we got first game up, 12 noon Eastern, we are heading to Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, Beaver Stadium for SMU and Penn State. The Nittany Lions -8 to as high as -9-point home favorites, 53 being the total. Looks like 25 degrees, breezy, cold, 65% precipitation chance here. So not the best of weather for this game. Sidewise, look, Penn State, I think they're the better team overall, the more talented team top to bottom of the roster. Now, head coach James Franklin, he's had a little bit of trouble winning these big games, but SMU, they're not a top 5 team by any means. They're not named Ohio State or Michigan either. And they did cover each of their last 2 home games as the favorite pretty easily against Maryland and Washington. Looking at the SMU side of things, their head coach, Rhett Lashlee, I watched him a bunch this season. I actually lost pretty early on in the season going on TCU, watching that game. And I really wasn't I don't think SMU was that great of a team overall. I really don't. I think they took advantage of an easy schedule in the ACC. We saw them lose to Clemson in their last game. There's just not a whole lot of meat on the bone. Like, what's their best win? Is it that TCU game? I mean, Sonny Dykes got thrown out of that game. TCU had many turnovers in that one. A bunch of pick sixes, fumble returns. Was it Louisville? I don't know. I think Penn State wins by double digits, guys. I really do. I mean, this SMU team, they haven't won a postseason game since 2012 in the Hawaii Bowl. They're 0-4 in that stretch. Penn State, low water mark here, guys, -8. That's how we're starting the Saturday slate. Nittany Lions at home. I think they win by more than 8. I do think that total is a little high, particularly with the weather. But, SMU can score, so instead, we're going to go Penn State -8. All right, next game up, 4 o'clock Eastern, the mid-afternoon game, Clemson and Texas. We get the ACC-SEC battle here. Texas, interesting line right now. -11 and a hook is the low water mark, and -13 is the high water mark. So a 1.5 difference here, offshore to Vegas. If you check out the WagerTalk live odds screen, you can check it out. Make sure to shop around, get the best number, depending which side you like. 50 in the hook being the total. This is Texas Memorial Stadium, Austin, Texas. Remember, the home team is playing on their home field here. Mid-60s, plenty of sunshine, the projection here for the weather in Austin. Clemson comes in 10-3 on the season. Texas 11-2. Both teams lost to Georgia. Texas lost to Georgia twice, actually. Clemson lost to them in the first game of the season. Texas played them a little bit more competitively, particularly in the last game in the SEC championship. Clemson actually lost 34-3. They also lost to South Carolina as well in the SEC. Now they're playing another SEC team here. And there is a strength of schedule mismatch. Texas, by the numbers I'm going off of, number 13, toughest strength of schedule, and Clemson, number 55. Now, Texas, they didn't have any top 25 wins, and some of that is being helped out by playing Georgia twice. But they were favored in every game this year. They do get their left tackle back in this one. Now, they've had trouble with the red zone offense, and I could see Clemson here kind of playing that bend, don't break type of defense and just keeping Texas out of the end zone. That could be a situation that Texas needs to overcome. But Clemson being the bid stealer coming in, they're the one that, the number 12 seed here, the last team in winning the ACC. I think they're going to have a tough time here, though, guys. I'm not a huge fan of laying double digits in college football, but look, we're going into uncharted waters here. The first time, a 12-team playoff. We get 3 games on Saturday. I'm actually recording this Friday afternoon on the Pacific Coast here, so I don't know the outcome of the first game in Friday night. But it's not like I'm not going to be betting the favorites here. I mean, I think a lot of these teams, you go by power ratings, like Penn State is power rated, significantly ahead of SMU. Texas, the same thing with Clemson. So for, the two out the gate here, guys, I would not be surprised if these are 2 touchdown, if not more, victories for the home team. Texas, the stronger team, top to bottom of the roster. At this point, I do think they're a little bit better coached, particularly offensively with Sarkisian in the bunch, 2-quarterback system if needed with Arch Manning behind them, behind Ewers. I think the Longhorns are the side here, guys. Low water mark, -11 in the hook. It's the Longhorns over the Tigers in the mid-afternoon game. We got 1 game left here. Reminder, if you could comment below. It helps outgrow the show, guys, where you agree, where you disagree, how you think these games are going to go. Huge college basketball slate as well. Check out Premium Picks, WagerTalk.com. Experts page, Drew Martin, as we are on the 55% run over the last 11 weeks on the show. Going daily. We'll have the Sunday NFL show posted early as well, so check that out if you're an NFL bettor. And we got the final game coming your way here, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tennessee, the Volunteers, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. SEC Big Ten battle here. Ohio State -7. They were -7 in a hook. It looks like that hook got taken out. So we're going to go off of the Buckeyes, -7-point home favorites, 46 or 46.5 being the total. Now, this one in Ohio Stadium, Columbus, Ohio, looks like 22 degrees, 5 to 15 mile per hour. Tennessee, 10-2 on the season. Ohio State, 10-2 on the season. It's Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, Chip Kelly as well as the OC, versus Josh Heupel, going for the Tennessee Volunteers, the head man here. Tennessee is 6-1 their last 7 bowl games. I guess that's a positive towards the Vols. Although I don't know how much, that factors into the playoff setting, because I don't think Tennessee actually ever made the 14 playoff, whereas Ohio State made it a bunch of times. In a bowl game and a playoff game, it's not exactly correlated. Instead, I'll look at it as Ohio State, their offensive line is really banged up. I mean, we saw it against Michigan. They were having trouble moving the football. Looks like their starting tackle, their starting center are going to be out of this game. Ohio State was favored in every game, yet just 6-6 against the spread. They did lose to, of course, Oregon and Michigan. They have the number 1 ranked total defense, so that's something to kind of take note of here. And we're seeing it in the total, just a 46. Now up against Tennessee here, the University of Tennessee's defensive line, top 10 nationally in pressure rate. So put that up against Ohio State's offensive line being banged up right now. That is a matchup that sometimes, you can't fix it in-game type deal. But Tennessee, a negative towards the Volunteers that I think is worth noting here. And if you follow college football and Josh Heupel, he runs it up when he has the opportunity to, but his offense against like opponents doesn't always, kind of look the same here. And sure enough, in the offensive stats versus the non-conference teams, Tennessee scored 62 points, had 600 yards of offense. Got this from the Gold Sheet, a nice little nugget here. And versus the SEC opponents, they had 25 points, 398 yards. So a lot less production offensively against the better teams, the teams in the SEC. Overall, I mean, there's question marks on both sides. It's a great matchup, guys. I think a little bit too much is being put into, an SEC team going to the Big Ten team. And part of the reason here is Knoxville, Tennessee to Columbus, Ohio. It's not that far. I think it's only like a 4 or 5 hour drive. And in Knoxville, that's above what the mountain line there. So it gets cold. Don't forget that, even though they're in the SEC. So overall, guys, I think this is a tough one. It comes down to the end. Doing a pick on every game here for Saturday in the college football playoffs. I'll put the +7. I think Tennessee, the underdog with the best chance to win this game. So put the 7 in our pockets, guys. We'll jump on the Vols to stay within a touchdown of the Ohio State Buckeyes. We got Texas in recap, -11 and a hook to cover against Clemson, and Penn State kicking us off, -8 over SMU. That does it for the Saturday show, guys. Comment below, smash that like button, cash those tickets. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back on Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, guys.